Mr. Ricardo, thank you for coming out to Ruction Nation and joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you guys.
I was thinking back since like 2019 or so. So it's been 2 big jobs.
Yeah, I think
right?
it was at the SIA.
Yes.
SIA, yeah, that one.
Yep.
I think there was another one.
Emerson. Yep.
Correct.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, let's start with what are you doing now? What's your role? What company do you work for? And what do you guys do?
So my role now is a co-owner of MGM Waterproofing and Restoration. I started working here 2013 as labor. Moved up the ranks, eventually became leadman, foreman. Once they put me into the superintendent and they moved me over to the estimating side, office side, to me, that was a whole new thing. I wasn't used to it. I felt like I wasn't doing enough. So, kept on going up, moving forward. Eventually, I saw that I was kind of outgrowing the company. There was 2 owners, and I spoke with them, kind of told them, I think I need to do my own thing. I think I'm ready. And one of them actually offered. He's like, well, if you're already here, I'm looking a way out. It's already set. Might as well take over.
So you're currently co-owner?
Yes,
with
my
one
in-law.
other guy?
My father-in-law.
With your father-in-law?
Yep, he's the one that stayed there. So,
gotcha.
But he's probably here 3-4 months out of the year. And the rest, he's mostly, I would say, retired. He's out in Mexico.
So it's your show?
Yeah, a lot of it. And what I do now, it's a little bit of everything. So you might still see me on the field here and there, working with the guys, estimating, project managing, and also taking the lead of the office. I have my estimators there, accounting. So there's times that I need to be in there. Still stepping out to meetings. So a little bit of everything, just wearing different hats.
So take us back to, you said 2013, correct?
Yeah.
Take us back to 2013. What did that look like? How did you first get in with the company? It sounds like you had family.
Yeah.
Running the company, or still do have family running the company with you. Was it just a natural kind of, I'm going to go into the family business type of deal, or?
No, it was, I didn't want to be in the family business. It's my wife's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't know if that's going to work out. So
yep.
I was actually working at another company, doing reconstruction, restoration. And in 2013, I don't know if you guys recall the big old rain that flooded Boulder.
Yep.
It was bad. So I was out of work for a while. I was working probably a few days out of the week. I just had my firstborn. So I said, okay, well, I got to step over here. When I did join, I literally went in saying I didn't know anything. I didn't want to also put my standards too high, them expecting something. So I was like, I don't know what exactly they do. So I went in just saying, hey, I'm here to work. I know a little bit, not a lot. Eventually, they caught up and saw that I knew a little bit more than what I said.
Mm-hmm.
So I started moving up from there. And, the rest is history from there. I enjoyed it a lot. I care for it. So,
what did you enjoy about the earliest days of just being a laborer? I'm assuming it was moving material and cleaning.
You're prepping for the guys,
Prepping, yeah.
letting them what to do, cutting the material for them. I think the most that I enjoyed was there was no responsibility. That was really it. I
do what you're told, and
I had no responsibility. You told me what to do, and I'll do it. That was it. But I knew that moving forward with more pay, there was going to be more responsibility, and I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm. And you guys have done multifamily projects for us. Do you do commercial and multifamily and residential, or what kind of work do you guys do?
Yeah, so when the company started in 2002, they just did mostly restoration. Everything that was out there, anything that needed to be done. Even when I started, we were still breaking some concrete, redoing concrete. So we still did a lot of restoration. I would say maybe in the last 6-7 years, we just stuck to multifamily, commercial, and not really residential. Here and there, some residential townhomes, but it's mostly multifamily that we stick to now. I would say about 90% of our work is multifamily.
Mostly new construction.
New construction, yes. Mostly that.
And so that kind of takes out the restoration side a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Mostly waterproofing, caulking.
Yeah, so we still do a lot of caulking. The restoration that we still kind of keep is the caulking that, there's schools that we do work for in summer that we have to tear off caulking, redo it. We get those calls every summer that we have to go out there. So that's kind of the 10% that we still stick in there. There's sometimes homes that call me that they need some work, and we go do it. I don't really like houses and homes because I don't get a lot of profit off of that. It's small work, and I don't like charging someone so much for something that's going to take me 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Especially
like,
a homeowner.
yeah, it's like I know how it is. It's already expensive out here, so I'm not going to. So mostly when I get those, I do let the guys know, like, hey, there's this job. Go do it. They'll pay you X amount. You guys keep it.
That's awesome.
That's kind of like their bonus out there.
Yeah, just to keep the overhead and profit out of it.
Yeah, I'll take care of the material because it doesn't take a lot. Sometimes it's a few sausages, and I was like, just go do it on the weekend. They'll pay you, and they keep the money.
So how quickly did you progress from kind of bottom of the totem pole up to like a superintendent role?
In 3 years. So 2013 and then 2016, I took over the superintendent role.
What was the biggest transition at that point? What were things that you were doing that set you apart from other people?
I think a lot was from what what they talked to me about was the care that I put into the job, the responsibility. I was there. I was always the earliest, and if I had to leave late, I didn't mind. I was there to work and get the job done. And I think that was one of the things that helped me out. And till this day, I think it helps out. Like, I don't like to leave stuff halfway. So if I start something, I need to finish it. Even if I get home a little late, I can't. Sometimes my wife hates me for it because I get home late. So it's like, why are you still working? And her saying, you're an owner. You can be home when you want to. I'm like, it's kind of backwards now. I'm the first and still the last. And I was doing that before too. But I think that was one of the big things was just my responsibility and, caring for my work.
So obviously there's tons of trades that you could have picked from.
Yeah.
How did you land in restoration? I know you had mentioned earlier that was your first way in.
So I started working young at 16. I did roof tear-offs. Probably wasn't the best thing I did because I loved the money. Once I saw money at 16 years old, and we're talking about maybe 2010, I was getting paid, 150, 200 a day for not even 8 hours worth of work. So once I saw that, I was like, oh, man, I'm probably getting, why do I need to go to school? So I took that route of work instead of finishing high school. Probably not the best thing to do, but I feel like I'm in a good spot. But also that what's helped me out is, I guess, my ambition to just keep moving, keep doing better. So I started with tear-off roofs. From there, I went to that one slowed down a lot because it was more of a cash payment where it was like, you come in, they'll call me some days. It started slowing down a lot. So I found this other company, and I started working there till 2013.
Okay.
And that one was a good company too. But once it slowed down and I had my kid, I was like, I need to move on.
How did you find that first position at 16? Was it like a summer gig, or do you know someone?
Well, some of the seniors that graduated, they told me about it. I would work throughout summer, so they would invite me over, and I liked it. Eventually, they got out. They kept doing it, and I was like, okay, I want to do the same thing.
Yep.
Being that young, seeing these kids with trucks, cars, I wanted that too. I was like, well, what am I doing? I need to get on that boat, and that's what I did. That's how I got in. We did a lot of good jobs there. We worked at the Denver Museum, downtown. It was fun. I mean, it was hard labor, but being young, I didn't mind it. I just thought about the money. And once I moved to the other company, I was never scared of hard labor, to the point where it's like, well, whatever they put me to do, I'll learn. I'll get it. Believe it or not, the hardest thing in construction for me was Spanish. Because I know Spanish, but being raised here in Colorado for my whole life, I didn't know how to write in Spanish or read very well. And there are words that I didn't understand. So like a hammer in Spanish, I didn't know what that was, what that tool, what they would ask me, go get the martillo. And I was like, I have to Google that and see what it is. Yeah. Go get the drill, go get this. And that was my biggest struggle, was learning the tools, what it meant, all the materials in Spanish. So it's helped me out a lot too, to kind of be fluent in both languages now, where I also learned on myself how to actually write and read in Spanish correctly. Because, if you would have asked my mom, she couldn't communicate with me very well. I would talk with her, but she wouldn't understand it. I would say it how I thought it was said, but it was backwards. So that was probably one of the biggest deals that I had to.
Yeah, biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had several people on the podcast now that didn't finish high school. Most of the people we've had on haven't gone to college. I think we've only had one that has gone to college, two maybe. I guess, would you go back and change anything at this point? Or, do you like how, are you satisfied with how everything has progressed and where you're at now?
Yeah. I don't think I would change anything. I'm good where I'm at. For my son, because I have a son, I probably wouldn't tell him to do the same thing as me. It's harder lessons that you have to learn. Also, the opportunity I'm trying to give him, he won't need to have that ambition to kind of work at a very young age. So it's, I'm trying to create opportunities for my kids where working for money is the very last. So it's like, go to school. I'm also not saying school is probably the only option or you're going to be successful if you go to school, but I just want them to have options on what they want to do.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
Could you, in words, explain what those struggles were that you don't want your kid to go through, your son?
I think a lot of them was just money struggles with my family. As a young kid, we moved a lot, from place to place. So I don't want them to go through that, or even me to think at a young age, like, what do I need to do to make some money? I was in elementary school, I was selling candy. I was, like, you could say I was hustling at a young age, selling candy, I started earning money to even, like, flipping cars. I remember buying a Plymouth Neon, and I think it was actually my sister's, but she didn't know how to drive stick. But it only cost us $300.
Right.
So I said, buy it. I drove it, and then I sold it. And all I did to it was just tinted the windows, the tail lights, painted the rims with black paint, and I sold it for $1,200. From there, I was like, oh, here's your $300, and then I bought me another car. And I just kept doing that. And a lot of that was just always in my mind, like, what can I do to get money. So my parents always worked. You know, they're both of them working. My dad worked 2 jobs, but it just seemed to never be enough. And so I was like, I need to do something different.
Right.
So that was just an added stressor to your childhood, just having to think about
yeah,
money and how you're going to make it
yeah,
eventually.
yeah,
What's the so it sounds like you flip a bunch of cars.
yeah. I mean, I went from a Plymouth Neon to a Honda Civic to a, what was those, Passat, and then another, I think it was a Grand Prix GTP or something like that. And the last one was a Audi. That was the one that I stuck with, because that was the whole main goal was I saw an Audi and I was like, that's what I want. So at that time it was like 11,000,
Flipped your way up to it.
all the way to that.
Mm.
So once I got it, I was like, okay, what now? And that's when I got more into the construction and the roofing, and I saw quick money there, and I was like, okay, this is, yeah, it's hard, but what's not hard? Life's hard. I'm not gonna say no to life. I'm like, there we go. So I think everything. I'm not saying everything's been easy, but I think it's, as long as you put your work and mind to it, you can get accomplished.
Would you say things have gotten more? I mean, you already kind of said that things have gotten more difficult as you've had more responsibility. Can you talk about the difficulties of kind of moving up in the career and how that changes from more of a physical exhaustion to a mental?
Oh yeah, no, it's physical is definitely, I miss it because I would just rest and I'll be okay. Mental is, you're still even dreaming about it. You can still go to bed and you dream about the problem. And sometimes the problems are, for example, now, if this guy going to show up? Are these guys going to come in? Are they going to be too hungover on Monday now? Football just started. Are they going to be on Monday? Do I get that? I'm being late. So it's those little stress, because I do have a full schedule every day of the week. So when people call in, I have to move things around, and sometimes I'm the one making those calls where it's like, hey, man, I'm going to have to reschedule for tomorrow. I can't do it today. And I think I've gone into, kind of with a lot of the superintendents out there where they understand. And it's like, I do tell them, hey, I'll make it up the following day, or I'll send you 2 crews tomorrow. I'll make up for today. When I started that role of making those calls, I would get yelled at, and I don't know if it was the guy prior to me, how he was managing everything, but I remember every call was a fight, an argument. And I was like, man, this is what's going on. Eventually, once I took control of that, it was, okay, no, you're good. Just, I need it done by Wednesday.
How did you take control of that?
I think a lot of it maybe is also the person. I don't know if the other person was lying a lot.
Not setting proper expectations.
Yeah. So, we all have issues in construction. Everything's going to happen. But I think as long as that person kind of gets it done when you guys need it done, then it's like, all right, if I need to cancel another job to fulfill this job because I couldn't go yesterday, that's what I'm going to do. So I think, I'm not sure what they were doing back then. So but I do see kind of the difference in that.
Communication, honesty.
Yep.
Just telling it how it is and not sugarcoating it.
Yeah, we're all gonna mess up. Sometimes it's not my fault, but I'll take the fault for it. And the supers don't see that out. I also do that on the guys, and the way I don't yell at them, the way that I could say get back is winter. We're very slow, so I always tell these guys, you help me out on the busy season, I'm going to help you out on the slow season. Whoever doesn't, so I have a little book where it's like call in late. And all that works at the end of the year, where bonuses, if there's a storm or it's too wet or it's too cold, I bring in some guys just to do oil changes in the trucks, which I don't need to, but I do it. Sweep the shop, clean the office, paint the offices, just keep them busy. The ones that didn't help out, they see it and they kind of understand. But I think most of them now, they know where they are. Where the ones that are calling in are usually laborers, guys that are only here doing the busy season. Most of my foremen and leadmen have been there since 10, 12 years. So they've all, I have trust in them, and I know when they're sick.
So speaking of laborers, how do you personally motivate somebody that is new, green, doesn't quite understand, and doesn't know how to ask the right questions?
It's hard nowadays. It's hard. I kind of give them incentives, and I try to at first see everyone learns differently, and there's different foremen out there. There's ways that people learn differently. So I switch them around, different foremen, see how it works out. I spend time with them as well when I'm out, when they're new, and I'll get the reaction from everyone. I like the whole company. We're all a team. So it's not just the foreman. It's also the guys there. How do you see, how's the energy with this guy? I don't want to bring in someone that's always mad or upset and everyone's just off that day. So if he's bringing a lot of negativity, I tell him that it's not working out. I'm gonna have to let you go. But nowadays, yeah, no, it's definitely hard with laborers, especially. You can get them, but they won't have the experience as before.
How do you guys find people? How do you guys do your marketing? Is it all word of mouth, or
They find us. It sucks. It sucks to say. I mean, it sounds bad, but they find us. I mean, I think in the waterproofing field, every company, we all know each other, or we know someone in that company. From AAA, Alpha, Blazer, everyone, we know someone that's there. They're either family, they're related to someone, they work with someone. So it's just most of if you guys pay attention, if you see laborers or even foremen, you'll see them transitioning sometimes to companies, and you see, oh, this guy looks familiar. I've seen him somewhere else. And that's really how it is. I can have a guy that comes from another company and he's like, oh, I just heard from you guys, I'm going to come and apply. Or even maybe some of the guys that leave from us, they'll go to other companies. And I get the call, be like, how is this guy? I always say, maybe I wasn't the right person or the company wasn't the right. I always like, he tried, but it just didn't work out. Maybe with you, it'll be different. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of like just all the companies. It's word to mouth, I think. Everyone just.
Mm-hmm. So you guys don't put ads out or anything? You just.
No, we
people
used
come to you?
Yeah, we used to. But I don't think it worked. I don't think we would get the right laborers. We would have ads on the trucks.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, we wouldn't get the right ones, and I felt like we would get maybe 10 laborers, but out of those 10, there was one that was only good. Yeah. So it's like, no, I don't think this is the right way of doing it.
What is the most challenging thing that you have to deal with as a waterproofing installer or a caulking installer?
I think you guys heard this before, but just having the job ready, that's the biggest thing. It's and it's not on every. I mean, for example, joint sealants, it could be on the cider, it could be on the metal guy, it could be on the brick guy, it could be the guy washing the brick, it could be, I'll even put it could be on the own installer that's installing the joint sealant. So it's a lot of factors, and what I try to do is have everything at least ready, and for when you guys do call, we're out there, at least an elevation ready. That's what we can make money, and you guys can show production as well.
How painful is it when you come out to a job site and it's not ready for you?
It hurts. I mean, it's hurting the wallet. It's the guys are getting paid once they leave the shop. They're getting paid. If they stop at 7-Eleven, they're already getting paid to the way to the job. And if that's a 30-minute drive, and then while they check and see if it's not ready, by the time I send them to another job site, that's 3 hours of just, and if there's 3 or 4 guys, that's 12 hours. So that adds up at the end, So it does. That's probably the biggest thing is areas not being ready, but being in construction, it's kind of what we expect. So what I've done in the past few years is I try to go a day before and make sure stuff's ready, or at least there's enough for me
to get started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, also when it comes to waterproofing, it's one of the biggest items out there that has warranty claims and
Yeah.
and issues down the road can become a big problem. So, I mean, when you guys come in, things need to be right, and you need to be able to install your products correctly.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just the liability on it, it's huge. So once we do it, we have to do it right. We'll get it fixed. Like, for example, I always say when roofers say, oh, we're doing the same thing as you, I'm like, no, your roofing, yeah, it's important, but if there's an issue, you can just jump on the roof and fix it. Our stuff, you have to break, remove, or, you demolish a whole building to find where it's coming from. So we have to do it right the very first time. There's no errors. And, nothing's perfect. There is times when other trades go in and they don't let the GC know, you guys know, or even us, and it gets covered up. It doesn't leak at that moment, but in the near future, you start seeing all those leaks. So yeah, that's the the worst calls I get. I hate getting, hey, your waterproofing's leaking. First thought is like, what did my guys do? Mm-hmm. And once I go out there and it's damaged, I work with them, and a lot of the superintendents understand, trades, it happens. There's trades that don't let anyone know. They'll just put it under the rug, keep moving.
Do you have any horror stories in reference to that you're willing to share?
Yeah. No, yeah. So there was a job downtown Reno. We did the whole waterproofing, hot applied, at the pool. And everything was good, ELD test. So I had all that paperwork. Year goes in, the whole garage is flooding, water coming everywhere, pool equipment. I'm like, what is going on? What's going on there? Pool gets removed, and it turns out that the pool guys drilled some holes to, I guess they're what they had said, because I got an email for it, was that the pool is going to expand or contract, I don't know, something, and they had to drill holes. But they penetrated my whole waterproofing all over. So once I saw that, I was so relieved. I was like, all right. Because I was already thinking about, man, I'm going to have to pay for all this. Like, what's going on? I have the ELD test. And at the end, I am the waterproofer. So something goes wrong, it's on me. Once I saw that, I was like, not on me no more. Everything went to the pool guy. So that one was probably one of the worst ones.
Was that recent?
That was, no, I would say maybe like 6 years ago. Okay. 6, 7.
Yep. What advice would you have for someone that is getting into your field of work as a laborer or an installer?
Be responsible. That's one of the biggest things. Be responsible. I think in any field, really, it's responsibility is going to be what everyone's looking for, what's lacking nowadays. Being responsible counts for being on time, being there to work, get the job done right, follow directions.
Don't take shortcuts.
Don't take shortcuts for sure.
Yeah.
And everything, not only on work, but also on safety. That's one of the big things where I struggle, I would say, because it's so easy to remove your glasses when it's hot. I used to do it. But now that I'm in charge of it, the liability on that. So it's like, I get it, guys. I was out there too. Leave them on. Leave them on. And it gets difficult, but, just be responsible for everything.
So for the guys that are listening who haven't been told to leave it on or haven't been given a good explanation for why they should leave their PPE on, what do you tell your guys?
I always tell them, I want you to go home how you came here. Go back to your family the same way you walked in this door. If better, good. But I don't ever want to make that call where I'm calling someone, spouse or families from the hospital, or saying, hey, this happened. And sometimes it's because they didn't wear the right PPE. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. They took the shortcut. I mean, we had a story of a guy getting burned with the kettle hot applied, because the crew, instead of taking the kettle down, they decided to put it in a little pickup, leave it on there. And when this guy was trying to open the kettle, he had his gloves. I mean, obviously everything, but that hot is burning. So I had to give, this was, I would say 4 years ago, young kid, had to call his mom, like, this happened. He was scared. Obviously, your skin changes. He definitely learned from that, and we refresh this every week with the guys. If it's not glasses, it's hard hats, it's boots, it's clothing, it's everything really, jewelry. There's guys out there with jewelry on, and I'm like, hey, you're not here to party.
Fashion show.
Yep. The younger generation, loose pants, and it's like, no, it's not gonna work out here. Be safe. So
Yeah, outside of PPE, I think just stopping and thinking for that extra moment. It only takes a split second to make a mistake out there.
Yep.
We've witnessed and heard of plenty of accidents as well, and it definitely changes your perspective pretty quick when someone gets hurt.
Oh yeah. So it's hard for a lot of, I think, guys to see it, because I get it. They want to get the job done, but do it in a safe way, and that's what I remind them every day.
Yeah, it's not worth your health or life.
Yep.
So I had a question. You, from a estimating standpoint, how do you balance cost effectiveness with long-term durability within the products that you guys choose to present for each project?
Honestly, it's we used to have a lot of say on it. I think with certain developers and GCs we do, but now it's really what they want. Even if I don't agree on it, as long as I have an email, some sort of saying, I don't think this is the best system that you need to install. What I've noticed now is a lot of it, they go for maybe the cheaper route, and obviously the best route does cost a lot, especially material went up so high. It went up a lot on the waterproofing side. So it's really, I like to install the best, but if that's not what they want, I'll do what they want to do, what the architect is saying, what everyone else is wanting on their job.
Right. The design team.
Yeah.
What is your favorite product out there?
I don't think I have one. I mean, they're all interesting if you think about it. I mean, I never thought I would get in the field of waterproofing to the point where I'm talking about it. But my wife, we walk around and sometimes I'm seeing joint sealants and I'm like, oh, this thing needs to get replaced. I just like how it works, how it keeps water out, it keeps the building, it's the life of the building.
It is very satisfying when you guys complete a big area too. Like our pool decks and stuff when it's all buttoned up, waterproofed in. There's nothing dripping through anymore. I mean, it's I would call it a milestone moment.
Yeah, no, we definitely. I have pictures of the jobs, from when it starts to when it's completely done with hot applied and then drain board and then pavers over it. So
Yep.
I have little pictures of that, and looking at that, I'm like, man.
Well, most of your stuff gets covered at the end of the day
Yeah.
too, which a lot of people don't even realize how much work goes in under those pavers or under the topping slab
Yeah.
or in the detention vault. I mean,
Yeah.
it never gets really seen again, but
No.
I mean, it's preventing water from trickling through the building, which
Yeah.
can destroy everything. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, like for example, at Emerson, all the below grade, you're never gonna see that. That's all
Right.
that pre-applied waterproofing. You're not gonna see it. So I like all of it. I mean, there's not one that I would say this is my favorite.
Right.
I think they all serve a purpose, and I like working with all of them. I enjoy all of them. The hot is the only one that's really, it can get to you, especially with the smell.
Fair.
But other than that, I don't mind it when it's cold. Keeps us warm.
Yeah.
But when it's hot, that's probably the worst.
Right.
has there been any game-changing technology or products that have come out that have completely changed the way you guys do things?
Yeah. So I mean, I would say yes, but if I talk to my in-law, he's been doing this way longer than me. He started in California, and a lot of these systems that I tell him, like, hey, look at this new one. He's like, that was already out. They just rebranded it, and
So it's kind of getting recycled
yeah,
years later.
yep.
Hmm.
Yep. So I think that a new one right now that it's being used, it's like a green material that gets sprayed on the floor, and it's meant to serve over hot applied and all instead of hot applied. But he's like, I was doing this 20, 30 years ago. It didn't work out then. He's like, well, maybe they changed something on it.
Interesting. So it's like a spray on.
It's a dual spray on. Might work in California, but what a lot of these systems have in Colorado and different states, we're all different. There's temperature changes. You
Yep.
can see a temperature from 40 degrees in the morning to 80. And California might stay around that range where it doesn't, the building's not a moving.
20-degree swing or something.
Yeah. So that changes a lot on materials as well. And it might work somewhere good, but in other states might not. So that's one of the biggest things is technology with material. There's certain materials here that are great because they're so flexible. They're able to move, but they're not cheap. And sometimes it's like, do we need the 20-year warranty? Some guys are like, I just need 10. So
20 years is a long time. I was thinking like ELD testing too. Has that been around forever? Or
that's been around.
Okay.
It wasn't used as much. Not like the past, I would say maybe 3 years.
yeah, we go back and forth on whether that is the right way to do it or not. Because you can't really fake it with water testing, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of my arguments is you're gonna have flood of the area, and if it's failing, it's gonna
You're
gonna see it.
You're gonna see it.
With the ELD, it does measure the thickness of the material, so you're getting the proper exactly what you pay for. But you don't know it for sure because even a fail one could be a rock on there. So it's like it's hard. It is a lot faster than flood testing, especially like the garage that we did.
Yep.
Building 2x4s,
Oh my gosh.
especially when there's
Yeah.
so much sloping, it's a lot faster to ELD test. But 100% sure is probably flooding it with water, and you'll know for sure.
Right. So what's the worst case of water damage that you've seen?
I think it probably was at a garage where the pre-applied had failed, and the walls were just basically rotting out. You could see all the metal come from it, concrete just ready to fall. They had to build another
groundwater coming through.
groundwater, from even the walls. It was coming from everywhere. There, probably the only fix is injections. You have to inject everything. And again, they decided to go with just a Cypex, which works temporarily. You know, it might work for a month, 2 months, a week.
Right.
But that was probably one of the worst.
Could it have been avoided or no?
I think so. If maybe they didn't do any waterproofing on the slab. I think from when they originally, I don't know who did it. We got called to see what was going on because water was coming from the floor, and they didn't have it. It said that it was not needed. Water table was too low, but obviously it wasn't. It was high. So I think that probably could have been avoided. And and that was maybe 6-7 years ago. So I've seen more design teams and architects kind of putting more attention into that nowadays. So, I mean,
Yeah, foundation waterproofing specifically.
Specifically more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back then it was not like how it is now. You know,
A lot more drains and
exactly
perimeter drains.
Yep.
And full height. Yeah.
Which it does. I know it costs a little bit more, but you know that's kind of it's the foundation to your building. You want to keep that healthy.
Right. How is the future outlook for your guys' industry? I mean, this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, you're going to need waterproofing and caulking
Yep.
for all of these structures that we're building.
I believe it's going to grow, honestly. I think there's going to be a lot more work. There's going to be more necessity for it. I know if then there was not much knowledge. I mean, to be honest, if we look back to Seattle or California, they're a lot more advanced than us in waterproofing. They have new systems that we don't see 2 years later. And they need, waterproofing. Here with the snow, winter and everything, we definitely need a waterproofing foundations, joint ceilings, everything. So I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna definitely grow.
And your guys' outlook
Yeah.
at MGM is looking promising?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's more stuff that I want to do outside of multifamily, but I think it'll work out good. I'll probably, little hint, I want to have maybe a sales guy throwing it out to more residential because you don't see that waterproofing at residential homes. And now residential homes are not 200,000, 300,000. They're at least 600. So I think putting knowledge into a lot of homeowners saying, hey, what they're installing in your foundation, it's not really working. That sump pump, you could really do something else where your house is going to last you your 30-year mortgage.
Yeah, I've heard a horror story of someone that bought a new townhome up north, and it was a whole new development, and I can't remember it was the water main going through the townhome development was leaking and flooding every single townhome. You know them too, but yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, no, and I think in the residential, they're just building. They're not looking for quality. Not like maybe with us in the multifamily, the liability too, with so many people living there, everything has to be good. But I still see as someone who is, buys a house, it's not cheap anymore. And you want to get that investment to last you, maybe not just your generation, pass it on to someone else. And the way that they're being built right now, I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Let's take a little break and then we can pick that back up.
It's not leaking as of today.
There's no calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hear about it if it's leaking.
I don't say that.
Next day.
Probably same day.
So Ricardo, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Said you have kids. What do you do outside of work?
Yeah, I have 4 kids. 12, 9, 7, and 4. 3 girls, 1 boy. And outside of work, I really, spend time with the family, go fishing. I used to have an ATV, but I sold that, trying to, be more responsible. I was still thinking I was really young and doing some really not smart decisions with that. So I got rid of that.
Were you doing like trails and
Trails, donuts, just anywhere, jumping off. And I got hurt a few times. So I was like, all right, I think it's time to let it go.
ATVs are dangerous, I'm telling you.
They're fun.
They
They're
are fun.
So I go to car shows. I like cars. I had an Audi S4
Yep.
staged. It was nice, but also sold it. Too much fun in that. So I didn't want to get no more tickets. So I kind of just let that go, especially ever since it shut down that racetrack.
Bandimere.
Yeah.
Did you race it there?
No, I never raced it there.
Oh.
No, I got it, I think, the year that they closed it down. So
They're supposed to be reopening it
well,
up north somewhere. I don't know.
I'm saving for another car, so
Yeah.
hopefully.
What do you have your eyes set on?
I would love probably like I like Audis, so maybe another Audi. But I'm looking for the RS. I don't know which one yet. Or, not too much of a Ford guy, but I kind of like the Mustangs. Those ones are pretty nice. So sporty cars, for sure.
New stuff, not the classics.
I love both. I mean, I tell my wife, I think if I had so much money, if I was if I want the lotto, the recent one, you would know by me just buying cars. New, old, I just appreciate them. I mean, I like them. I think they'll...
If you won the $1.7 billion lottery.
Oh, yeah, man.
What would be the first 3 things you would have done if you would have won?
Probably pay off all my siblings' mortgages, and that way they don't ask for anything else. I already helped them out. Second, take a vacation for maybe a month, and then
Where would you go on vacation for a month?
I don't know, anywhere, Japan.
Okay.
With that money, anywhere I want. I can be one day there and then just fly the next day. So maybe travel the world. And then the last thing was I would probably invest more into the company, make it grow, make it self-running where it doesn't need me anymore, and just that's it. That's my kind of, I guess, retirement. I don't think I ever want to stop working, but just have the company run itself, and me just kind of go in and out whenever I want.
How do you do that?
I have to find the right team, and I think I have one. I have them right now. I just have to find another me. So kind of get someone good outside in the field, a superintendent that cares, and then inside, someone that's able to do all the inside stuff as well.
How'd you learn how to do all the inside stuff?
I was taught by the last owner that sold to me, so he learned from also the same as me. Probably even worse because he had to learn English. So to me, it was a lot easier understanding a lot of things, and to him, even sometimes talking, he wouldn't understand a lot of things. So he taught me reading plans, everything. Everything from the office was him, and then everything from the outside was my in-law. So I'm basically made from like 2 great guys that just made this person right here that knows both inside and out. And I am trying to make someone who kind of knows a little bit of both worlds, because it's always good to know what you're talking about out in the field than just reading about it.
Yeah, that's always kind of a big topic that we talk about. But in your opinion, does it make more sense to start in the field and then move into the office?
I believe so. I think it's helped me out a lot. Nothing against people who go to college. I think inside they learn, but books teaches you a lot. But I think the field will never teach you like school does. There's always issues, problems, situations. And you learn so much to even people managing. Organization, everything you learn from being in the field. If there's a problem, you go to another job site and you're like, okay, I remember that happened here. Let's not do that again. I remember this was an issue. Let me get this going before these guys come back. So
What do you think the most important soft skills are to develop in this industry? Being in the field, I guess, if you want to be, an installer or a superintendent, outside of the actual work that you're doing, like communication and reading people and the room and a situation. How important are those skills?
I think communication is really good. That's something very important because you can know everything. You can have a guy that knows everything, but if he can't communicate it, then it doesn't really help. He can't explain it to someone who doesn't do this kind of work. It doesn't help. I can tell you it's not ready, and if I can't explain to you why it's not ready, then he's not really helping you. So a lot of it is explain it, communicate with the person, and let them know why you need certain things done a certain way.
And how much interaction with other trades do your foreman and field personnel have?
We interact with everyone. I think from foundation to to the concrete guys, the dirt guys, perimeter guys, everyone from there, and then we move up to brick guys, sliders, flooring guys when we're doing balconies. So I think we interact with everyone.
MEPs, electricians, plumbers.
Everyone, from penetrations to being able to walk into a unit that we have to get to a balcony. So we have to communicate with everyone, and I think that's why I said communication is very important out there.
Do you think? Do you think it's the communication is everyone kind of communicates well out in the field, trade to trade? I mean, I can speak for myself as a superintendent for GC. I communicate with other superintendents or PMs or lead foremen, but I don't really get to see kind of the daily interaction between trades on site.
Yeah, I think trades communicate. I just think there is always that bad apple in every trade. There's always guys that don't care, So I think as long as the foreman out there is in communication with the other foremans, that's all that really that they know their own team. So there are guys out there who just don't care. They'll walk through a guy putting carpet, or if he has the flooring with glue, he'll walk in, and at least from what I know, my guys try not to. They know because we kind of do the same thing on the balconies when we're doing traffic coatings, and we hate when someone goes in there. So he's like, we don't want to damage anyone's work because we know how that is. So I think as far as foremen, there's a lot of good communication out there. It's more on the installers, the actual workers out there. You don't have most of them. They just need to get paid. They need to work. For example, there's drywallers that I think get paid by a sheet, so they don't care. They're hanging. You can tell them that, hey man, don't make any dust. We got to work here. They don't care because you're also messing with their money. So it's like that's where the conflicts start. It just depends how the other trades. Also, I think their earnings. There's flooring guys who get paid by room that I've heard.
Yeah.
So
piece workers.
Yeah, so obviously they don't want to stop because I need to go through because I'm slowing them down. So that's where the conflicts start.
And how do you deal with those bad apples or the people that you have conflicts with?
I talked with them. I think communication was a great thing with me. It was always like, even when the guy was getting riled up, getting mad, I always kept my cool. I was like, hey man, we need to fix this problem. there's an issue. You need to work. I need to work. What can we do? If I go work over there, can I come in here by after lunch? You know, once they kind of see that you're not kind of answering to their yelling and frustration as well, they kind of calm down as well.
Yeah, just let them cool off a little
You
bit.
let them cool off, yeah. So I honestly never had any issues like that, even being out in the field. I was always the guy that was being sent out to big jobs that were a lot of conflicts. But once I kind of got along with everyone, communicated with them, let them know what I need, it was just communication. I think this helped me out a lot, was just communicating with people out there.
Yeah, staying cool, calm, collected. And
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what that guy's going through that day. You know, so maybe something bad happened and I'm just making it worse.
Sure.
And I'm not gonna argue with that guy for just trying to get in the balcony. At the end of the day, if I can't get in, I'll just let the super know, like, hey, I can't get in. Move on to the next one.
Yeah, and yeah, kind of fast forwarding to where you're at now. I'm sure you have all kinds of different pressures and responsibilities. Like we said earlier, you know, you need to get the work for all your guys at this point.
Yeah. And a lot of that also, you know, going back to the whole communication, that helps out a lot. You know, being able to communicate with the supers out there, up to even my workers, letting them know what I need to be done. There's different ways different guys learn, and also they communicate differently. There's guys that you need to show them pictures of what you need done. It's funny, but you need to, like, I need this balcony. I need to, you know, I highlight them, the units I need, and then from there you move on to over here. There's other guys that get it just by you letting them know I need north elevation. From there, move on to east elevation. There's other guys who you have to go there the first day and show them what you need done. So it's just kind of learning how they
Operate.
Yeah.
Do you have any funny stories from the job site that you can remember? Anything crazy that happened out there?
Yeah, there was. I think that there was one. It was with this older gentleman. This was when I was a foreman. It was by university, I think, and I forgot the other street. So we were doing deck coatings. We were doing detailing, and it was almost lunch. And he's like, I got to go to the bathroom. I was like, well, just wait till we're done. We're almost out of here. And I told him, plus, the porta potty cleaning is coming like in 10 minutes. They're pulling up. But the porta potty that he was going to go to was in a second or third floor courtyard. So I told him, if you're going to go, don't go on that one. So I think you guys already know what happened.
Yeah.
I'm working and I don't see him. He's down there. I was like, all right, well, you didn't listen to me, so we're fine. I didn't tell him anything. I saw the crane coming.
Oh, God.
The crane was coming.
Did you take a little ride?
He did.
No way.
He took, and you know, he didn't go up that high, but that to me was hilarious because I was like, man, like, what are you doing? I told you the crane. And I remember because there was a guy that hooked it up, and that's why he didn't go so high, because he was starting to bang on the bathroom and making this, so they had to bring him back down, and he was all washed in blue, just
Oh, God.
pissed off.
It always comes back to the porta potties.
Did he go home or did he finish the day out?
No, he wanted to go home, but I didn't. I had to finish. I told him, you know what? I always had 2 pairs of boots in my truck because I like to be proactive. And job sites get muddy. So I had another pair, and I was like, just wear mine. Your jeans are going to be like that. That's fine. You'll be fine.
When I was framing and I was still heavily in the field, I kept 2 pairs of pants because I would rip my pants often. I don't know why. So I get the being prepared part.
Yeah, no, with me it was always boots because it's even to this day I carry another pair of boots in the truck. There's times that I walk job sites and it's just they get muddy, and I hate dragging that mud everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
especially if I'm walking into your office or going somewhere else. I'll leave the muddy boots and I'll be like, okay, this is if I need to go to another job site, I'll put those on. But the clean ones will be on right now.
Yeah, you got your outdoor boots and your indoor boots.
Yeah.
So obviously that's a learned thing, having your boots and having a backup pair. What's one thing that you wish you knew, or that you know now that you wish you knew on the first day?
And waterproofing,
Just in your career.
I think the big thing for sure is bring an extra pair of boots and pants. Pants, yeah, because waterproofing's messy, and if you don't know what you're doing out there, you'll see the guys that kind of don't know what they're doing. They'll get dirty. They'll get material all over them, and the first days, it is messy, and you don't know the foreman that you're gonna go with. Some foremen are very, very
Well,
picky.
waterproofing washes right out of everything, right?
No, no. Your even your wife will hate you. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't even dry it, so it'll activate again.
Oh,
So it's definitely bring a second pair of jeans. That would probably be my advice to the younger self. Bring a pair of jeans.
we're zooming out a little bit. Just be prepared,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, be prepared with extra boots, extra jeans, or like you've done on all of our jobs. Come walk the job. Be prepared. Know what you're getting into. Make sure we're prepared.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um.
It's and see, this was probably again back when I was still in the field. Nowadays, I give my guys overalls, so they're those you throw away overalls.
Yep.
So I tried to protect even their clothing. So I'm like, here's their overall. There are some that like, I don't need it. I've been doing this for so long, and they come back and they're coming back in their underwear, and they're like, I didn't want to get the truck dirty. Jeans are on the back of the truck, so it's really be prepared.
So, what's your typical day look like nowadays?
Monday through, I would say Friday. I try not to do too much work. Saturdays, you'll see me probably up at 5 a.m. I get out of the house, head over to the office. I'm there around 6 a.m. Guys come in at 6:30. So I usually, the day before, I plan out where they're gonna go, and I try to get their materials ready. At least kind of have some stuff ready for them, their notes. I got a new system where now they have their own iPads, and so I'm able to write on there what they need. So once they get there, I just tell them who they're going with. They load up what they need to load up, and they take off to the job site. From I would say 6:50 to maybe 8 a.m. Finishing up or sometimes catching up some things that I needed, small job sites, small bids that I need to get out of the way, and then meetings, bidding, job walks, just all busy all over town, driving around.
Lots of windshield time.
Yeah, a lot. There's days where I'm in the office stuck all day, but that even goes by really fast because I think I'm just finishing up bids that I was working on, and then I get a call. I have to go over here. So the times that I'm in the office, I 100% take advantage of it. Probably not good, but sometimes I don't even take lunch. If it's already like 1, and I'm like, no. By the time I eat, it's gonna be 1:30, 2. If I get home and I don't eat, my wife's gonna be mad. So I'm rather go home hungry.
Yeah.
And they're happier. They're like, "Oh, you ate so much more today. Yeah, it's so good."
Yeah, they don't know exactly why. Skip lunch.
Sometimes you got to skip lunch to get some stuff done.
Yep. What do you enjoy most about your job today?
I think for sure meeting new people. I think I wasn't good at talking to new people, especially when I was in construction. You don't really talk too much unless you're like a foreman, superintendent. So once I took a role of all that, especially now being an owner, I enjoy it. Everyone has part of their story. Getting to know new people. That's probably one of the biggest thing. Trying new things. I tried golf. Never thought I would ever try golf. I tried it. I'm not good at it, but I liked it.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not good either. Did you go golfing for like a business event or just on your own?
I went with some PMs,
Okay.
and that grass was done. I'm surprised they didn't charge me for it. Not going there back again, but
You gonna stick to it?
I want to. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
want to. I'm probably gonna buy some clubs. I don't want to invest too much into him right now because I don't know if I'll stick to it.
Yeah.
So I kind of did the same thing with fishing. I never thought I was gonna fish, and then I enjoy it a lot. So I started with maybe like a $20 fishing rod from Walmart. That broke the first day, but I caught a fish. So I was like, okay. So
That's all you need.
Yeah, so I bought another one, and now I have 4, and they're kind of good. So that anything I like to start off with budget myself and see if I even like it.
It's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Where do you do like lake fishing?
I do lake fishing. I go a lot to the mountains.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite spots is kind of by Winter Park, a little bit before Winter Park. It's like a hidden lake
Okay.
around there. I forget the name of it. U-Red. It's called U-Red. It's a little hike. You don't have to hike. You drive off road, climb the mountain, and the hike's maybe just up the hill, and then you see the whole lake. And it's quiet. You'll for sure grab fish. Like anytime I go, I'm getting at least 8 to 10. My son's 7, he gets 10. So fish are just biting there constantly. So that's one of my favorite spots.
Well, let me know if you want me to edit that out so we're not telling everyone your secret fishing spot.
No, I mean it's pretty
Pretty well known.
it's pretty well known now.
Yeah.
But it's still, I'm pretty sure they stock them. They keep them pretty stocked, and they're good. They're good sized fish.
Do you keep them or do you catch and release?
I keep some of them.
Yep.
And I release a lot. So depending on the size. And my son, he always likes to eat them. So anytime you catch him, it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Look how fat it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
So I do keep them. Sometimes we don't leave. I cook them there. Just get a fire going, a little stove, do it at just some butter, gut him out, and he enjoys it. So I'm like, all right.
You cook them up right on the shore when you're up there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I take a little propane
Yeah.
stove,
That's
Yep.
cool.
and I just have my backpack, and I bring some butter, my little,
It's the way to
fork
do
utensil.
it. That's awesome.
and he enjoys it. So I always wanted to do that with my son when I was like, oh, when I have a son, I'm gonna do that. And I've been lucky enough that he actually enjoys all those things, because I have
Right.
friends that are like, oh, my son doesn't like that.
Well, fishing and golf are similar. They can be the most frustrating things ever, but you catch one fish and
Yeah,
makes it all worth it. You
same with golf.
get
right?
one good hit in golf.
You
and-
want to do it again?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Keeps you coming back.
Is there any other hobbies that you're looking to take on or things that you have your eye on?
I do shooting ranges too. I have a few guns. I usually shoot at my dad's land, so he has 38 acres, and we set up a shooting range there. So that's something that I do here and there. That is one thing my son doesn't like. He hates the noise. He's like, I don't like the noise, so he goes, but he'll stay kind of back. I do that. I also, I don't know if cornhole.
Mhm.
I try that. So with construction, especially being out there more, it kind of got me into new things. There was a new one that it was pickleball. I don't know what that is, but
Have you played?
no,
Oh,
Some guy invited me, and I was like, "What do I need?" He's like, "Oh, just come. I'll get everything." I'm like, "I don't know, man.
You should do it.
Pickle and a
It-
ball."
Yeah, you should give it a try. It's fun.
Okay.
It's a good.
it's like a mix between ping pong and tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, with a wiffle ball.
Yeah. I last year I did cornhole.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, cornhole's
So
it's a good one.
yeah, so I'm just trying new things. I did, what was the other one? Bowling.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, whoever. I fell on the lane, but it's definitely fun.
You gotta tell that story. You fell?
Yeah. So I was wearing the shoes that they give you,
Yep.
and I guess when you get too close to into the thing, it's oily. I don't know what, and I just literally flew up. You just saw my feet up, and I fell. I got so mad that I took off those shoes and just started with my boots. I did so much better with my boots than those.
So at MGM, do you guys do any like company events, company picnics, Christmas parties?
Yeah, no, yeah. I started doing that when I took over. Last year we went to the Rapids Stadium. I got the whole section for the guys, unlimited drinks, food, and we also did Top Golf. This year we went. They wanted to go. We went to the lake. I think it was for. I don't remember if it was the week before Fourth of July or the week after, but we didn't do that week because everyone had plans. Sorry, we went to the lake, and then we'll probably go to the Rockies game. Hopefully Broncos.
How big of a company are you guys? How many people?
Overall, I think there's 10 outside and 4 inside, 14, and then the outside changes. It can go from 10 to 25, 10 to just depending on how many ongoing jobs we have.
Right.
That's when we'll bring it up more. That was another thing that I also changed that I noticed once I got into the books was labor was going up, but production was the same. So I was like, something doesn't make sense. Once I brought the labor down, production increased. So there was obviously someone that wasn't doing their. I was probably we probably had 20 guys, but 10 guys were only working.
Right.
So, I made a deal with the guys like, hey, do you guys want me to get more guys, but it'll be less for you? Or can we tackle these jobs that we have and we benefit more? And I was like, if I don't see production, then I'll hire more, but obviously less money for all.
Yeah, that's a good incentive.
So I'm putting them also in kind of my view is, have them kind of take some leadership too, and how do you want us to go, and how do you want your bonus to be?
That's awesome.
So,
Do you have any questions for us for a couple of superintendents in the multifamily GC world?
what trade's the hardest to work with?
Definitely the waterproofer. What trade is the hardest to work with? We haven't been asked that yet.
I think everybody has their own strengths and weaknesses. I don't think there's one trade that is more difficult than the other. It's more so just learning personalities.
Yep.
It all comes it truly is a big circle of communication. I think some people and it's all job to job because each person's different, but I don't think there's one trade. I think it's just personalities.
Yep.
So I know that doesn't answer your question, but
Yeah, no, I think that answers it because you can have someone who works in paint, a painter, and he could, he could not communicate good, not explain or do something, and it makes the job a lot harder. So it kind of goes back to when we get asked like, which one was your favorite job, and a lot of it wasn't that. Sometimes it wasn't the superintendents. They were great, but it was other trades. It was the communication with the other trades that they didn't have someone that could communicate the same because you see these big companies that have different foremans in different jobs, and it could be the same company with a different foreman, and it's like so much easier on this job because it's maybe the communication that this guy's able to give instead of this other guy. So I understand that.
Yeah, we always say it kind of comes down to the foreman.
Yeah.
For each trade. And yeah, I mean you get a whole variety of different types of people, but the thing that helps us the most, and I think helps everyone the most, and the project in general is that communication, being honest, not sugarcoating. This is where we're at today. Not dwelling on the past. Well, this guy did this and this guy did this and that guy did that. It's like, that doesn't matter. We're here right now today.
Yep.
What's the path forward?
Oh yeah.
What can you do? What do you need? What do they need to do, to get us there? That's what helps us the most, helps the project the most, and helps all the trades around them the most.
Yeah.
Just open communication and honesty.
Yeah, it comes down to attitude also. I mean, if you're able to lay out clear expectations, you're not going to get frustrated or have a false story in your head,
Yep.
So, because it's easy to blame the next person, but in reality, if you just asked or if you had that upfront conversation, you would, in theory, be fine.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't like conflict, or they believe that there's a conflict in a conversation that might not even be a conflict. So they try to avoid that talk. So it's I
Well, it comes down to ego too, The easiest people to work with are the ones that can set their ego aside, and if everyone in the room realizes, hey, we're here to do a job. I don't have a personal problem with you. I have a problem with what's going on the job right now, because we're not moving forward. No one's moving forward.
Yep.
To complete the mission.
Yeah, I think for sure.
So setting that ego aside and just sticking to the facts. This is what's going on in the job.
Yeah, on that topic, like separation of knowing friendships with work, with ego, and you might like this person, but their work might suck that day. Doesn't mean you don't like them. It's just you didn't do a good job today. I had to let go of one of my own family members. It was probably one of the not, I wouldn't say hardest, but uncomfortable. Because I helped him out. He needed a job. I helped him out. But then he felt like because he was a family member that he didn't have to do the same as everyone else or listen. He was on his phone and just it wasn't working out. So I let him go. And later on, he just didn't want to talk to me no more. So I was like, hey, work-wise, I don't want you there. But family-wise, I don't have a problem with you. But some people don't know how to separate that.
Right. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That'd be hard. How do you I mean, a lot of people struggle, especially managers struggle with, at the end of the day, leaving work at work.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with that? Have you struggled with that? How do you not take it home and take it out on your family?
Yeah.
That's what most people do.
I did. I honestly did at the beginning. When I took over, I felt mad. Something was going on at work. And then I realized like it's not their fault. So what I do now is once I'm out of the office, there's times that I drive in silence. I'm driving silently and just thinking of all the stuff that happened. And I'll take notes. If with the new thing, I'll take, hey Siri, type this and this, and I'll take notes to kind of reflect or remind me tomorrow to do this. So once I get to the house, I'm not a company owner anymore. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I could be a friend. I'm done with that role, and that's what really helped me out, was just letting go of separating it. Just really, there's nothing that I can do today. If there's a problem today, I can't. Even if I take it home, I'm not gonna be able to fix it. If I couldn't fix it today, I'll come back tomorrow in the morning and I'll work on it again. So it's understanding that, and a lot of people have issues or struggles with that. I did at the beginning, where I would take it home. I have a computer at home, and I would even try to log in and get some stuff going, and I'm like, what am I doing? No. I realized that myself, where I was like, no.
What did that look like when you were kind of in that era where you were taking your work home? Was it affecting
It was affecting
your personal life?
my personal life a lot, to the point where my wife would even notice it. Like, she would be like, why are you so upset? Arguments with her, or even the kids sometimes asking for help for homework. And me just like, I don't have time for that. Brushing them off. And then it was like I was just distant, in my own head. I was just keeping things to myself, kind of in my own head. But it wasn't towards them. It was just issues that were going on, or something at work, or I got a call, or even like getting a call that day and I was good and heading home, and a guy calling me last minute, hey, I'm not going to be able to be there tomorrow, after we just had a full hour conversation of what tomorrow's going to happen, and now you're going to, not come in. So little things like that, I was like, okay, I don't know.
Well, a lot of people give the advice of, you got to leave work at work and
Yep.
make that kind of hard separation. It's kind of vague advice. It's not very specific, but you did give a specific piece of advice, driving home in silence and taking notes on your phone via voice, not typing, but talking into your phone and taking those notes. Do you think that?
I think that helped out a lot,
Yeah.
definitely, because I was kind of leaving those thoughts there. Those work thoughts, what I was thinking.
Well, you're
in my
putting them
phone.
down, so you're not going to forget them, right?
So I'm not going to forget them, but I'm forgetting them when I'm home. I don't need to worry about it. Because it was weekends where I would even also not enjoy my weekends. I'll be like, oh, man, like, I need to go back to work. I need to do this. Where now it's like I can enjoy the weekends. If there is a problem at work or someone's not coming next week because, he has his vacation, another guy just out of nowhere said it, I'll be like, all right, I'll figure it out. So it's just trying new things. I think fishing also helped a lot. Trying new things, definitely. That kept my mind off of it. And also meeting new people, because everyone has advice. I would think I was the only one that I was struggling, like, oh man, I'm probably, I shouldn't have taken over. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. I was doubting myself, where I was like, maybe I'm not ready. What if I fail? And meeting people, and they're like, no, man, it's just that's how it is. It's going to be good days and bad days.
Yeah, it's way more common than anyone realizes in that moment. When you're doubting yourself or struggling with a new position or can't leave work behind over the weekend, you think that you're the only one going through it. And I'd almost say that everyone goes through it.
Yeah.
At some point, at one point or another. So it's, I mean. Yeah,
because I didn't think it was everyone. Like, sometimes I look at some of my workers and I'm like, man, you're not stressing about that?
Well, it's not the people. I mean, that's one of the facts of moving up too. When you're at the bottom, it's kind of freeing.
It's, like I said, less responsibilities.
Less responsibilities, and the higher you go, and as you climb the ladder, I mean, sure, the money gets better, and you're not doing backbreaking work every day, but man, that mental stress and whatnot is a lot.
That price tag is there for a reason. It's
Yeah.
it's to pay you for your knowledge, but also to pay you for what could come.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I think me being an overthinker was even probably worse. I overthink everything. I have scenarios for a lot. My wife hates it, but I'm like, it's just how I am. Something fails, I have plan B. Something fails, I have plan C. It's just like, what? How do you How do you have answers or what to do? I'm like, because I thought about it, and that was probably also one of the hard things was just overthinking.
It's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
it's great to have a plan B, C, D,
But
but
it keeps going.
and it takes a lot of work to get there. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of mental work that takes away from being in the moment.
I kept it as just to see. So plan A, plan B, and then if both fail, let's see. Call it in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Today's not my day.
yeah.
Yep.
If they both fail, I gotta go home.
Yep. Call it.
Yeah.
That's a good system,
Call
actually.
it.
So did you catch yourself working through this prior to there being like an issue at your home? Or did you let it get so far to where you had to kind of reclaim yourself in your home?
I think there was not like a huge issue. I realized it. I think my wife has always been straight up with me. I love that about her. She's straight up, and
Calls you out.
yeah, even if I'm trying to hide anything, like being upset, oh no, I'm fine. She'll call it out on it. So that made me realize a lot, and I realized it at the moment, but I just kind of was like, yeah, I need to figure this out. So before it got way too worse, I kind of fixed that. And there's even another thing that you could do is also like for me, for example, is it's a joke, but when you see your kids and they're all waiting for you, and you're like, oh man, here comes more energy. A lot of people see it as it could be like you're saying, like, yeah, your kids are happy to see you, and you should be happy too. So there's times that I would text my wife like, hey, I'm outside, give me 5. Give me 5 minutes. I would also stop by at 7-Eleven, get some candy, just something a Snickers, something I enjoy by myself. I'll text her, hey, I'm outside, I'm eating some Snickers, I'll be there as soon as I'm done.
Yeah, just taking that 5 minutes for yourself.
Yeah.
So you can become dad.
Yeah,
and become
because
husband again.
At the end of the day, for example, a superintendent, you're dealing with so much trade, so many people, and to get back home too, you're dealing with all this, like, oh, look, this guy wanted this, oh, I need this for this, Us as subs, we as the perfect world, we want everything ready. But I see it also as a superintendent, that's hard. Like, imagine you need to have the concrete guy, you need to have the door guy, you need to have all these guys. And one of the guys is not gonna come through. So that's a headache for you. And I always try to understand everyone, put myself in their shoes. So it's like, okay, at least I understand. So yeah, just kind of take time for yourself. I think that's a big thing.
It's great advice.
Should we wrap it up? Do you have anything else for us?
No, I don't think
any
so.
other questions?
No,
Comments, concerns?
No concerns.
Hope we get to work with you again, Ricardo.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. We've got a lot of stuff starting up, so we need
A lot of work.
We need multiple waterproofing subcontractors.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
hope you get on one with us soon.
Yes, sir. No, we're there.
Do you have
Awesome.
do you have a final message that you'd like to throw out there to everybody?
Be kind. Really about it.
We definitely need it more so, especially in this day and age.
Yep.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ricardo.